Now, to get similar perspective in the Indian insurance sector, let's also hear from Gayatri Parthasarathy, IBM Asia Pacific banking leader, in conversation with Tapan Singhel, Managing Director and CEO of Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, as he dwells on the progressive thinking in Indian insurance industry.
Thank you for joining us today. Insurance companies are really very uniquely positioned, also challenged because of the pandemic. It's a very different world if you have to really reflect on it today from what we were in JFM of 2020 to the future, right, on what we are looking at. That's one kind of a reflection that I have, because always, right, human beings, I think when we are put to test, we come out very resilient, and also we look at in terms of how we can innovate on newer things, how we can make our life simpler, and how we can make our customers' life simpler as well. So the digital disruptions that are going on because of maybe even the pandemic, I would say, is absolutely very high compared to what we would have planned and what we would have done, right, in terms of to doing that, right? So Tapan, I'm going to ask you the first question, right? What does digital transformation mean to your organization? How did this help you in the current situation as you what you see, and what aspects are you focusing on the future? So that is going to be my first question, because I'm very passionate about this.
Thank you, Gayatri. I think first and foremost, it's always a pleasure, honor talking to you. I think if you look at digital transformation in the current era, the entire theory of evolution of Darwin is compressed. You have to evolve from an amoeba to human being in the fastest possible time in today's era. That is what digital transformation is about. So I think any organization which feels very happy and complacent with one transformation, and the thing is going to last for the entire lifetime of the organization, that era is gone. So for us, transformation is a continuous process. And I think we love it. We love the challenge, and we love, as a company, to keep on seeing what can we do next, and how do we redefine the business, and how do we redefine the expectations of customers. I think we want to redefine expectations. But from that context, if I look at, for me, I think we have three customers broadly. My own people, they are obviously my customer. My customers who value our company and our products, and obviously our other stakeholders who are, our business partners, and all of them put together. Now, if you look at this journey, for my own people, I thought, why should we ask them to come to office every day? And that was before this pandemic thing started. Yeah. So the era of desktop to me was gone. So I remember having a talk with my head for IT and telling him the era of desktop is gone. Get laptops for everybody. Now we did that. Second was the era of customer going to a place for service and getting claims done. That era is gone. He should be paid claims wherever the customer is and whenever he would require it. Absolutely. So I said, can we look at settling claims on the spot? So if you look at all this point they're talking about, or from an intermediary perspective, can we look at giving solutions that is hand, like wherever he is talking to a customer, he should be able to give the right answer and solve things. Now this we had embarked even before COVID happened. So when COVID happened, actually, you'll be happy to hear, Gayatri, we issued close to 3 million policies and settled over 1 million claims in the lockdown period. Complete paperless, contactless, complete digital. So I think when you're in a continuous process of transformation and you love it, and you are trying to solve customers' worries or problems, or find some other solutions, or raise the expectations of customers of what you can deliver, then I think the journey is always very, very pleasant. Now the future, when you ask me, this has again now evolved to the next step. I think now we have to reach a stage where if you look at a risk perspective, let's say, Gayatri, today I ask you, what are insurance do you have? Maybe you would be having a health insurance for yourself, or home insurance, and automobile insurance, and PA. Cyber, I'd be surprised. Quite a few people don't have cyber, so that you may not be having. Risks are changing very fast. Cyber insurance has become very critical for everybody, all those who are operating, and the kind of losses happening, we're seeing very fast. Now, how is an insurance company who are able to see risks before others are able to see? Are we able to translate it to customers on a widespread basis and ensure they have a kavach, as we call it, protection the moment, no, before it strikes. It's something like that. We get you the vaccine for COVID before COVID happens.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
to me is the future now. No, how do you plan for that? The I think the planning after an event strikes, that era is gone.
That's
How do you prepare your customers before the event strikes is the era that we're entering into. I think that is what we've been working on, Gayatri.
absolutely. So, on the same note, right, I have another question that I would like to ask you, which is the revolution, if you have to look at in the insurance industry, the insurtech companies are also looking at in terms of bringing in terms of, say, absolute fantastic customer experience, agility, innovation, right? Anything that related to what is a particular pain point and how do you really solve them, right? Kind of a thing for, and also the business model definitely evolves on a continuous basis. Nothing is, as you said, is like, cast and stone, one time done. It's hence it's like we don't need to worry about it. No longer is the case, right? So how do you see the role of insurtech and your thoughts on how do you weave that in the industry fabric and how do you take that along, Tapan? That's your thoughts, please.
Yeah, it's again a very interesting question for me. But let me take you to my own personal journey. I have a strong disbeliever of any kind of collaboration with any external vendor
Hmm.
for my company's no, cutting edge solutions.
Right,
Because my belief was that if I involve a vendor,
right.
the same vendor would go and speak to my competitors, and whatever I have cutting edge that I've developed as innovation would be available to everybody, in 6 months' time. So if I'm looking inwards, I should be able to get a better edge. Now that was me, let's say if you spoke to me 15, 20 years back.
Hmm.
Now when you speak to me, I have realized it's so stupid if you're not collaborating. See how times change and how people change. That's my own personal change.
Absolutely.
Because at the hyper speed at which you see these things happening, I think now smart organizations are those who are able to pick up smart people, who are solving a problem and able to connect the dots together
Hmm.
and create solutions which
Yes.
nobody thought of. No, I think that is where the shift has happened because we have a lot of intelligent, smart people, trying to do smart things. So the era of collaboration, the era of working together has arrived. Now, the competitive edge now is what and how can you solve using multiple partners is where
Absolutely.
the game is. The game has shifted completely from being inward to outward and outward also by putting things together in trying to solve them. It's not about just putting together but you want to sound fancy. It's
Correct.
about real-time solutions which you have to put together. If I
Absolutely.
look at InsurTech, about 5, 6 years back when I used to go to Silicon Valley just to meet people, that time fintech was there. InsurTech was just like people were talking, murmurs were there. I didn't see any hardcore InsurTechs coming in. Today, if you ask me, Gayatri, I see a lot of good stuff happening now. People are looking at different value chains. People are looking at disrupting different things. People are trying to put their brains. I have so many youngsters trying to talk to me to understand how can do things differently. I'm super excited about the current times. So as
Excellent.
an organization, as I mentioned to you guys, we are looking at smart people and we are already collaborating with quite a few of them. I'm trying to solve things, we're trying to bring things in a very different perspective or come out with solutions which has not existed before by putting it together. So I thought I'd just share my own personal experiences, but that would reflect how thinking changed over time.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Tapan. Awesome. I think again, right? The journey continues. The journey and lovely, Tapan. I think you've evolved to that level and you're looking at that, right? And from your original thinking to where you are, it's a great evolution, right? Absolutely. Again, sharing for that insight with us, right? So, in an interesting study that was conducted recently, right, by a World Intellectual Property Organization, on the Global Innovation Index, India is standing at rank 48, right? What are your thoughts, right? Because we also believe that as IBM, right, we want to innovate along with our customers, right? We would like to do that, and you are one of the fantastic, customers for us, for a long-standing customer. How do you think we can work together to improve the index of the country, but at the same time, right, benefiting win-win for all the parties involved? What's your view on this, Tapan?
Thank you, Gayatri. Again, a question close to my heart. But I believe that India is a country where there's so much to be done. There's so much that you can do to make a difference to people's life. It's not the place to let go and go. You'll not find the excitement anywhere else. To give an example, just a simple thing like a health scheme, national health scheme. It touches life of 400 million people. No, now trying to push parametric insurance with the government. It touches lives of millions of people. No,
That's true.
I think the collaboration of government, smart people like you and your company and insurance company like us can make a difference to Indians, which will go a very long way compared to any other things. People have not realized the impact of an insurance company collaboration in redefining the country's future. Just a simple thing like national health scheme will increase the life expectancy of Indians by at least 5 to 6 years minimum because of good healthcare. No, so do we think like this? That is the first point. The second point is when you say we are at 48, to me it's like bull entering a China shop. No, I think a country like India, so much to do.
Yeah.
You can make a difference at all places.
Yeah.
Copy paste does not work here completely. Some way, some part of it will, but that will not be innovation which changes people's life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our obsession as a company and my personal obsession is how can I make a difference to my fellow countrymen? So when I retire, I look back and say, no, we did make a difference to our country and to people.
Right.
And so in such a context, a powerful company like IBM and leaders like you can make such a huge difference. I think there's so much to solve here that you can spend hundreds of lifetimes, and still not fall short of solutions to be found, and making difference to people's lives. So this to me is super exciting. I'm always on the lookout of people who want to do this. Because if you come to me and give you at least 20 problems to solve immediately, I think we have so many to do and each has far-reaching impact. See, when you are looking at a bigger purpose, business is easier.
Yes.
No, that's my belief. Another company, I think that is the purpose we're looking for. And we look at care is something that we really want to, be very, very clearly defining in terms of what we can do in the ecosystem that you said that can be done now, putting everybody together, making difference in people's life, working with government in collaboration to make a difference to the citizens at large. And that is where I think company like yours and people like you would make a huge difference. So I'd be super excited to take this forward.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tapan. Wonderful. And I think your passion is amazing. And that's why country definitely also gets a benefit and the customers get the benefit at the end of the day. And really, really enjoyed, right, in terms of talking to you as ever, right? Anytime, any conversation with you is always fantastic. And I learn few things new from you. Thank you today for joining us for the IBM Think, event. Really appreciate your time and really looking forward to having a personal conversation over a cup of tea very soon, hopefully post the pandemic, and really looking forward to working with you and your teams as well for the future. Thank you very much, Tapan. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Gayatri. My honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Guy and Mr. Singhel.